Hi, I'm Jason Gore for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to look at the original master recording, the Mofi release of Pink Floyd's Atom Heart Mother.
Big shelf.
Atom Heart Mother, the fifth album by Pink Floyd, the one that came after Amagama, really for me, sort of where my Pink Floyd begins. I mean, Dark Side of the Moon is sort of, for so many people, the sort of definitive record. I really love a lot of metal, MEDDLE, but I love this record. This is such a beautiful mix of the sweeping orchestral, the beautifully acoustic and somber, the slightly twee, the proggy, all together, all at once. Plus, one of those Hypnosis covers that is bloody great. Cows. God bless cows. Better than any Andrea Arnold film. Let's go that way. I managed to pick this up. This is one of these sort of late period original Mofi releases, if that makes any sense. A numbered edition, mine is 6909. And what's wild about it is that it is sealed. Last time this sold sealed on Discogs, it went for like 750 Canadian. I did not pay anywhere near that, but I paid way more than I should. It's my birthday present to myself. Why not? I really, really love this record. Now, how do I normally listen to this record? Well, I listen to it on the Floyd set. There is sort of a quadraphonic mix of it and other elements and some digital stuff, and I listen to it all the time actually on streaming. But on vinyl, boom, I don't have original UK. I don't have original UK out of any of the Pink Floyds, but I have these. These are the Bernie Grumman mastered, beautiful versions of the Floyd stuff, done off of digital files, but they're stunning. The fact that you can get these for 30, 40 bucks or whatever they are now, and they absolutely are in line with, if not as superior to the best of the releases that have come out. This is the way to go for most normal people. If you want this on vinyl, get the new version with this sort of newish version. I guess it's 5-6 years now. But yeah, the remastered of the original analog tapes by James Guthrie, Joel Plant, and Bernie Grumman. So Grumman's doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and obviously James Guthrie, who's been very much associated with Pink Floyd and a lot of their masters. And it's really interesting. You see, I mean, you have this one, which is, a fortune, and this one, which was much less. And you can see that the Mofi is substantially crappier, for lack of a better word. The image itself is much less saturated. It's like the printing. It's almost like somebody's taken a picture with an old digital camera or an old scanner and then printed it in a digital way. Weirdly, the fact that this is all analog and all that, and this is digital is kind of interesting because this feels more like a digital cover, and this feels like more like a photographic cover. How ironic. But yeah, so the actual covers themselves, you can see quite a substantial difference. The blue in the sky, different saturation and stuff like that. Again, I don't have an original to compare it to, but this certainly is more pleasing at the best of times, but it's probably more saturated and slightly tweaked than the original. That being said, I don't see much in the way here. I mean, there's a little bit of haloing around the cow and stuff like that. And this one, yeah, it's just a different color things. I can see a little bit of ghosting around the cow's ear and stuff like that. So it's clear that there's some, issues with the cover. I was aware of that ahead of time, so that's nice to know. But yeah, here we have two different versions. I will open this up so we can see what this looks like on the inside. All right, we have, look, a somber. This is very much the tone of this film, sort of, a bleak midwinter field. Although, for all I know, that's in the middle of the summer as the cows are sitting down. Right, the entire Atom Heart Mother suite on side one. I mean, I'm just reading it from this. We'll crack open the other one in a sec. Yeah, Father Shout, Breast Milky, Mother 4, Funky Dung, Mind Your Throats Please, and Remergence. It's this incredible, sweeping, horn-driven thing. Very much echoes the kind of stuff they would eventually sort of do a little bit in the Wall, where you would have sort of Salvation Army type bands, and that carries again into some Roger's solo stuff. And then you have If, one of the best songs that Roger ever wrote, Summer 68, Fat Old Son, amazing, and then Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast to close out side two. So that's this guy, which sounds great. And it's like, why would I be so psychotic to actually pick this up? Well, because welcome to this hobby. I cannot get a first pressing UK of this. I held this in my hand several years ago when I was in Boston, and I didn't buy it, and it kind of pissed me off since then. And I paid less in Canadian for it today than it was listed at in US when I last saw it. So it's a bargain. It was still a fortune. But yeah, this is what we get. And especially the fact that it's sealed. I could obviously put this on Discogs right now and try to sell it for, hundreds more than I paid. But that's not what I'm doing. So special thanks to the person that sold it to me. They met me halfway. They were up in Barrie. I came down. So one of those great people that you actually meet online occasionally. They're selling stuff. One true collector to another collector. He obviously bought this, kept it sealed. I hope he has a second copy, or at least opened one of them. But at the very least know that he made a bunch of money doing it, but more importantly, it's going to a good home because we're going to crack this open and see what it's like inside. Now, there's always a little bit of a danger when buying sealed albums because you don't know what's inside. So I'm opening this on camera. If I've made a complete fool of everything, we will see if there's a major issue with the record. There's nothing I can do about it now, but nonetheless, we'll crack it open. You can see this is that sort of corrugated seal that you actually have. Mofi even back then did this sort of loose shrink wrap, which is great because a lot of times when you actually have tight shrink, that's when you get run into all kinds of issues with the record. Even back then, they knew the right thing to do to actually have these records that could actually, stay sealed for a long period of time and still hypothetically be as good as they were the day that they actually came off the press. So I'm going to open this up. Here we are. The grand opening, if I can do this without doing anything. I got to follow the dotted lines. There we are. I have now completely ruined the collectability. Oh no, I've opened a record and I'm actually going to play it instead of keeping it sealed for generations to come where no one will care about such things. Who are we kidding? So inside here we have, again, cow. As I crack it inside, we might get a little cracking sound. Oh, no. There we go. It's interesting. It is, not the heaviest cardstock ever, but the inside, it's glossy, and it is this style. There we go. And the record itself, they come in the old school Mofi, where you actually have the OMR stuff with the record on the inside. So there's the gatefold, which I'll put in my gatefold sleeve. Here's the record, which is going to go in the degritter in a sec. But yeah, an audiophile's dream come true. Well, I mean, again, yeah, so once upon a time in the audiophile world, the only material available to hi-fi enthusiasts was an array of esoteric premium quality records of material of limited appeal and notoriety, of organ recitals, traditional musical performances, and sound effects. Then along came Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab in the late 1970s, offering audiophiles a dream come true, audiophile quality recordings of their favorite classic rock, jazz, blues, and R&B releases. These are et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So here we are, 105 Morris Street, Sebastopol, California, the old that actually has the advertisement for the Geodisc in here, which is great. I actually have a Geodisc on my that came with the Rolling Stones set. I will never use it, but it's pretty hilarious. And then on the side, what was true in 1977 is still true today. First generation master tape source, half-speed master, specially plated and pressed on 200 grams of high definition vinyl. I love all these sort of digitally sort of verbiage that they used back then. Dust-free, static-free rice paper inner sleeves, special protective board, that'd be this thing, heavy-duty protective packaging, well, I guess that was the thing, and Super Fi Superstars limited edition. The sweet sound of vinyl is back. The tradition continues at Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, Mobile Fidelity MFSL. So there we are. There's our look inside that, and let's see how the record itself looks. Now, you can tell this is one of the, again, original old school ways of doing it. You have the label looking like that, sort of a plain white label, so not replicating the original Harvest label. I believe it would have been a Harvest. And the actual inner sleeve itself is not branded. I mean, this is the way that Mofi sleeves actually came. The sort of, I guess it's a 2 mil or maybe even a 1 mil rice paper sleeve without the Mofi branding that you actually have. I can buy these Mofi sleeves all the time. I use Vinyl Storage Solutions because they're 3 mil, and 3 mil makes me happier. Regardless, the record, again, absolute, has never been opened since the release of this record. And here we have, unsurprisingly, it looks positively gorgeous. Absolute mint. I see nothing in the way of any of the cloudiness and the nonsense, no fingerprints. Just absolutely positively, gloriously mint. Adam Hart Mother, Mofi. Finally part of my collection, the OMR. I'm going to give this a listen. We'll compare it to the other one, but I just wanted to open this up and show you guys my latest addition to this crazy collection that we have. I love this record a lot, and I love the opportunity to actually hear it in multiple different versions. This is one that I think I'm hopefully going to cherish for a long time. My understanding is that the pressing of this is actually quite good, and actually does justice to it. Again, if I could hunt down a UK original that was in this quality, it would cost me thousands of dollars. We're not going there. It's not Pink Floyd nuts. Sorry, it's not Dark Side of the Moon nuts, but it's still Pink Floyd nuts. So there we go. Thanks so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this record. I think it's an underloved record, frankly. I think a lot of people do Dark Side of the Moon and Animals, The Wall, etc. Wish You Were Here, but they don't give enough attention. Metal, I think, is strong, but I love this record so much. This is by far, for me, my favorite pre-Dark Side of the Moon record, and in many ways, it surpasses much of what came after it in certain moments. Absolutely extraordinary. As I was saying, please subscribe, follow us on social media. Let me know in the comments what you think of this particular recording. Go to thatshelf.com and support our writing. We'd really appreciate it. We'll see you next video. All the best. Happy listening.
That shelf.